All time in the world.
Time that
today.
4 o'clock press conference started.
All right. You want a fast track? Let's go, David.
You know, it's game plan day, Clarence. Yeah.
David Moore, Dallas Morning News. You've talked about how calm and collected Cooper is in these situations, but what about his decisiveness? And you look back on these 2 games, I think only 1 sack, no interceptions.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you have to recognize, clearly just how he's played the quarterback position. I mean, he's played very well the last 2 weeks. He's total command of the offense. We've been, full template of, as far as the things we try to get in and out of, and that's a credit to him. We did a number of things at the line of scrimmage, last night, and he handled it. And so it wasn't a line up and everything all right? Oh, there you go. Wasn't just a line up and run it and, go after him, and I think when you play a multiple scheme, defense like that, you have to have some flexibility. He definitely gives us that, but he played the position very well. He's making good decisions. He's throwing the ball on time, and, he's trusting his receivers. So I thought he's put together 2 really good games.
Todd.
Mike Todd Archer with ESPN. Have you had a pass rush that's this varied with this many guys that can get after him from different spots?
No, definitely. I've never been part of the depth that we've had. Probably one of the best rush units I've had was 2014. But this is this group is definitely goes to another level because of the depth. So it's a good thing when players are fighting to get on the field. So I mean, guys want their opportunities. It keeps everybody hungry. The competition throughout the week, throughout the game, it's definitely what you want.
What's the stress point when it could be Mike at one time, Lawrence another time for an offense, and you're looking at all those different
Stress
guys?
point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's clearly just like anything. I mean, it goes back to the old adage. It's when the offense lines up against the defense, are you gonna just worry about the X and O's, or are you gonna get after the Jimmies and the Joes? I mean, that's really what football's all about. And there's always a balance you try to find in that. And for teams that want to line up and just play X and O football with us, Dan and the defensive staff have done an excellent job of creating enough scheme to give us flexibility in how we attack and to make sure we're giving our guys the matchup. So if they line up, I think. Micah may not have put the numbers up last night, but God, he was so disruptive, and he created a number of one-on-one opportunities for others.
Getting back to Keller, Cooper's play, he had a lot of clean pockets. Can you just talk about the offensive line and how that allowed him to play so well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it starts with running the football. I think we all recognize that. I thought we ran the ball very well. I thought, schematically and the execution, it was our best game of the 3. And then the action passing game off of that was definitely we benefited from that. So, I thought we did a good job in the situational part of it too, but it really goes back to the run game because, I think we just had the 1 3rd and long. We were able to hit the run on them, and that was an excellent check by Cooper there. So, and that's a huge play. Defense gets you in 3rd, 12, 3rd and 13. And you're able to run the football for a first down. So, but yeah, I think like anything, it starts up front, and we're giving our run blocking unit a chance to get. What's that? We'll wrap it up.
No. I was telling him I was going to ask a follow-up. I'm sorry.
Just when you think you've seen it all, Clarence. God.
No, sorry.
Is that good enough? Did I give you enough?
No, I was going to. He was, we have to
Come on, wrap it up.
this order. I was going to tell him I got to follow before he
Okay.
the next person. I'm sorry. On that run play, but Tyler Smith, I think he had about 2 or 3 people in him.
Oh, in the first one? Oh, yeah, definitely. When Tony got out the gate, yes. I thought Tyler, you look at his games, he's played better in each of the games. I think you're seeing a young man that's just getting more and more comfortable. I mean, he's outstanding in the classroom, has a very high IQ of, what to do. It's just, he just needs reps at doing it, and he's getting live game reps, and, I thought he played his best game so far.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Back to the pass rush. How much does that impact your secondary players in terms of being on the ball too?
Oh, definitely. I mean, every pass rush is the best pass coverage. I mean, we all recognize that, and it starts up front, and same breath. I think our secondary played a nice game. I think Malik came up and had some big time fills. In the run defense. Corners were active, so Dono was outstanding again. I thought he played another excellent game. So I thought our secondary was very productive, but definitely the pass rush helps.
Mike McCarthy with Dallas Morning News. How did you see special teams help close out the game last night?
Well, I mean, Turf's been an excellent addition, but, I think John, Fossil does an outstanding job, and it's just really, the matchup part of it. And I thought our matchups were on point, particularly in the return game, giving Turf, opportunity. I mean, we had two realistic opportunities to maybe have it go to the house. Coverage units were, we really didn't have much action there on the kickoff cover. But, you go back to the situational part of it, particularly at the end of the game, onside kick, what they're going to do. The kicker was limping after the field goal. So, but yeah, I thought our guys did an outstanding job, and and I think Brett's been money for us. So he was big again last night. I thought Brian was obviously excellent in his punch too. So did a nice job.
Haley Sutton, DallasCowboys.com. It was instant, the impact that Jason Peters made when he checked into the game. Just from your perspective, how happy were you with his performance, and what's kind of the plan for him?
Yeah, very happy for Jason. Obviously he's on a course. That we just want to be smart with him. We want to do too much too fast, and I thought I think he came in about 15, 16 plays, and that the goal was to get him between 15 and 20 plays. So. We don't have to talk about what kind of player he is. We all recognize that. It's just, he wasn't in camp, and it's not that he can't do it physically. It's more the connection and the verbiage and, being in tune with the guys next to him and just really getting his legs underneath him. So I thought we hit the target for how much we wanted to play last night, and I thought he did an excellent job.
Scott.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. CD told us in training camp he was ready to be the #1 receiver. He's been that before at OU. What difference is there between sort of saying you're ready for that and then having to live in those shoes when the game started?
Well, I think you answered it. You got to do it. I mean, it's and he's doing it. And he's I have total trust in CD, and he's definitely had the opportunities that we were trying to get him last night, and everybody wants to always talk about the one that he didn't get, but when it was on the line, I mean that's about as fine as a catch you're going to see on a fade route from the 1 yard line. So yeah, he's going to see more and more challenges every week. I think you'll see. I think he'll definitely get some attention this week with Washington coming in here. So I think he's off to a good start.
When DeMarcus Lawrence went down last year, you kind of accelerated the plans you had for Micah Parsons out of necessity a little bit. I know you stretched the running game all offseason, but when Dak went out, is this kind of a point just to say, hey, we've been working on this, but we've got to get this going right now in the run game with Dak out?
Well, I mean, we talked about this at training camp. You guys are at training camp, so we needed to run the ball better, and more importantly, we need to get more attempts at the plate. So, and I think with the training camp structure, you only have so many opportunities with the padded practices. So, I mean, it's just we need to stay committed to it. I think we've definitely done that the last 2 weeks. I thought Kellen called an excellent game last night, and Tony and Zeke are feature players for us. So I don't see us changing.
Ty.
Mike, did you contemplate challenging that fumble at that spot? Is that just a matter of trying to get the information from upstairs in time?
I was trying to get the third step confirmed because I was standing right there. When I saw it live, I thought it was bang bang, and I think it was Brian that had the call. And I asked him, I said, did he? His feedback to me, he saw it as bang bang. So I think if he'd have called a fumble, it would stand. And he obviously called it incomplete. I think it would have stand. I think it was. That's how I viewed it. And that was information from up top also.
Kevin Gray, 105 through the fan. 31 pass attempts, 30 rushing attempts, near perfect balance last night. When you look at the balance between the run and the pass game, how happy were you with that balance being struck? And is that something that continuously going forward it needs to happen for this offense to be able to be consistent?
Yeah, I mean, if you're just drawing up runs and passes, I think, with the execution we had last night, we'd be hard to beat because it definitely plays to our defense, because now our defense isn't on the field all day. They went up tempo. I think their mindset was to try to offset the rush, our pass rush, and try to get as many cracks at us as possible, particularly with their run game. So, but yes, I mean that's definitely a winning formula for us.
Clarence.
Going back to the running game, the mix between Tony and Zeke, 13 carries for Zeke, Tony and 15 for Zeke, is that kind of what you want?
Well, I think it's a winning formula. I think it's, really stems off what, what we just talked about. It's, you got two guys that are future players. They need to touch the ball. Whether we throw it to them, pitch it to them, hand it to them, it makes no difference to me personally. But I think, but most importantly, the run blocking unit needs to come off the football. They need those 30 attempts a game. That's where the real balance comes from. Because there's some of those calls were RPOs, run solutions, whatever we call it, and the benefit of it, you're throwing it out to a one-on-one and they get 6 yards, whether it's CD or Noah. But the run blocking unit's still coming off the ball. So that's the benefit, in my view, of the RPOs and the run solution throws, because those guys need to rip off the ball, because if you're throwing it all day, then now you have your offensive line playing on their heels, and too much of anything is not going to be good for you.
Lawrence got nicked up, and obviously he came back in the ball game. What's your plan for him this week?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't made it to the training room yet. I know they're wrapping up. They had sick call at 11, so I really don't have. I know they felt good about him on the plane last night, so we'll get that to you later today or tomorrow.
I assume Gallup is still trending forward. How do you think he'll go this week?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with Michael, he'll get a bunch of work more with Britt tomorrow, because we'll be in a walkthrough type setting, obviously coming off of the late night game. So, but I know Michael's, I know he's close. So, but he's just got to complete this process, and hopefully he'll go against Washington.
Mike.
The 3rd and 12 pitch that hit for you guys, what goes into? I don't want to talk scheme maybe, but what?
But you're going to ask anyways. Okay.
Yeah. But when they're rushing the way that they are, it's not just a block; it's a timing of a call like that. What goes into not just executing, but feeling comfortable in that situation?
Well, I mean, a big part of it is game plan. I think, you're looking for a certain look. The timing, field position's part of it too. Frankly, the way our defense is playing, for me, for my interjection there. But it's an excellent check, and and when you get that opportunity, because it's any of those toss crack plays, you got an anchor, you got a wall, you got a kick out, and you got an alley player. So when you have it in a full flex formation like that, your kick out's already removed just by formation. So if you get the anchor in the wall, and the wall player has the angle that we had, you're definitely going to get it clean for 5-6 yards, but to get the thing in space like that and get the first down, that's what you're looking for. So, I mean, it's definitely a scheme advantage play versus that look, and I thought, Cooper did a great job checking to it.
Mike, what's the process Dak has to go through now before he starts throwing, now that the stitch is out?
Yeah, I mean, just so I thought, the first threshold was get the stitches out. He got the stitches out last night, so so now he still has some swelling he has to deal with, and so once he gets past the swelling and in the strengthened stage, then he'll get to the point where he'll be able to throw. So he'll be doing more rehab this week, and hopefully we'll get the swelling and the strength where it needs to be. But I do not have a timeline on when he will start throwing.
Does the way Cooper's played, does that remove the urgency to get Dak back out there?
I just think you got to trust the medical. I mean, it's how the guy's playing in front of you, or replay. That doesn't. It's a long year. I mean, we do know that. The biggest thing really for Dak is just to get healthy. So yeah, I'm not. I view those as two separate topics.
Mike, Rob Phillips, DallasCowboys.com. Back to Jason Peters. He hadn't played a lot of guard in 18 years in the league. What about his skill set made you comfortable that he could make?
Well, frankly, just my conversation with Jason. I asked him about guard. When he got here, and I think he said he played there 2 years ago. He played right guard. So, but his position flex was definitely part of our interests. Obviously, we have great respect for him as a player. Just for all the years he lined up on the other side. But I think clearly his fit particularly next to Tyler is something that we were interested in, because we wanted that veteran presence also to take advantage of his experience for Tyler. So, but I think he's a pretty natural fit for us at guard.
You talked about depth on the defensive line or what the pass rush earlier. How much of it is depth versus versatility, or are those kind of one and the same?
No, I think it's an excellent point. I think versatility is a big part of it too. I think it shows up in just the way we rush. You know, if you look at the different rush patterns, you know, you look at the different rush plan, you know, week in and week out, I think it clearly points to the versatility that we have with our depth.
All right.
Good? All right, thank you.
Thank you.